What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ben Mala podcast. We're here to answer any real estate questions you have about anything you want. So we're here to answer all your questions, and we also have a big announcement, guys. We have a live show, April the 20th in Tampa, Florida, where they're going to do a huge real estate seminar, going to be networking, going to be making some real improvements in your life. So if you really want to, get in that area and get in that place to make millions and millions of dollars, you need to come to this event, April 20th, Tampa, Florida.
Have you ever been to a show?
I have. I've been to, I don't even know how much. It's great.
What's
I mean,
it like? Seriously.
honestly, you're around like-minded people who are really out here trying.
What age group?
Oh, all over. I've met kids. I've met kids from 14 all the way up to like 70. I think there was a guy over there still. But it's definitely the place you need to come, and it's real. It's real stuff.
Basically, you get together with friends, right? Everybody's friendly. We have a great time. Everybody's talking about making money, and I just love it. A room full of great people just trying to get ahead. All right, just trying to figure out what they got, what their next move's going to be. I learn from other people all the time. I learn from everybody. Everybody can learn from everybody. And it's just the atmosphere alone. It's just you come into my hotel so you can relax. Okay. You're in the owner's hotel and you're my guest. And we have a great night. The food was actually really good the last time. And it's a great night, to just everybody get in the mood. You got to put your head in the mood, you got to get in that zone, baby. And that's what we do. We're all there for a positive thing, to have a great night, talk about how you can make money and better your life. That's what we're there to do. And it's great because you got people come from all over, and everybody's got a different story and a different path to go. It's great, because everybody's got a different life.
And if you're not local to Tampa, you're also in a completely new city that's absolutely thriving in the real estate market and business and everything. So
and
Tampa,
we got a
Florida
shuttle
too.
Pick you up from the airport.
Yeah, right from the airport.
4 Point Sheridan, that's where it's at, You see the hotel on video, come down and see it live and hang out with us live. Me, little Ben, Vincent, Aaron, Carla. It's just a great night, and it's a positive night because we're there. We do a real course. It's a real estate crash course. Okay, raw 101.
Yeah, and you're gonna get info from starting in real estate all the way to managing multi-million-dollar portfolios. So you get all the knowledge you want. It's pretty much a huge seminar too that we got, and it's just giving you what we know.
BenMal.com/live. Get your ticket, because honestly, we can only have so many people. The room only holds 150 tops, I think, or 200 maybe. I don't know, but get the ticket. It's April the 20th, right here in Tampa, in our hotel. Book your ticket and have a great night with us.
And I guarantee if you come, you will not regret anything. You won't regret anything if you come.
Otherwise, it's Sunday, and I'm worn out. You know why? My wife says, I got to go to dinner tomorrow. We had to go to dinner last night at the country club for a close friend's birthday. Dinner. All right, you go to dinner. The dinner's at 6:30. All right, 6:30 is there. It's a nice dinner. It's a great place. 8:30 it should be over. And I'm exhausted already. Maybe we get home by 9. All right, even 10. Okay. What time do you think I got? I got home after Aaron. What time do you think I got home last night with your mother?
I don't even know. I was
3
asleep.
and effing more. Is it past a minute?
Oh
Can I curse
God.
now? Can I curse?
Yeah, you're good.
It's been a minute. You can't curse in the first minute, or you get in trouble. YouTube will spank you. All right. Anyway, 3 in the friggin' morning. I'll try not to curse. What time did you get home?
Probably around.
I can track it on my phone.
1.
I can look up and see exactly
I would say
what
12.
time he got home.
I would say 12:31. And you know where I came from? I came from a place called Florida Cracker Kitchen.
Florida Cracker Kitchen. You got to get your cracker on.
Florida Cracker. Hey, shout out to all my Florida Cracker people out there.
Went to a concert,
went to a country concert.
There's a guy that we met in Vegas. Right?
Yeah, Big Vinny. Shout out Big Vinny.
Invited
Go
him.
check him out. He's really good country singer. We
Invited
also
all of us, but I couldn't make it. I had to go to the birthday.
Yeah, I got VIP tickets. He also who else was there? Easton Corbin. He was over there. Really big country singer.
You got your country. I hate country music. I'm sorry.
I like country music.
It all sounds the same, and I don't know. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Sunday, I'm exhausted, but we're doing a podcast. Why? Why not? Because some people like it. If somebody likes something, I try to do it. I'd like to make people happy. If the whole world would try to make everybody happy, it'd be a good place. All right? Plus, TV sucks. There's nothing to watch on TV. It's a total joke. How can I have 2,000 channels and not one thing to watch? Maybe. And I don't think they make any new episodes as American greed. I like to see the idiots that do stupid shit and think they're going to get away with it. I mean, I don't know. All right. So what else is going on? We got the show coming up, and
I'm sure we got a bunch of business we got to do. What about us? What's going on? What's going on with us? I mean, I'm sure we have 1031s coming up. I'm sure we got millions and millions of dollars.
Okay, I'm jumping around.
What's the next?
I've been
what's the next
spending
move?
time on deals, and the sellers don't want to cooperate. I just went and looked at a hotel. I had Ben there, I had Vincent there, I had Brenda there. I got, we're inspecting the place. We're looking at it, and basically it's it's a good opportunity, but the seller don't want to give me the right price. Why? They got to understand. Listen, if you want to compete in the market in the hotel business, you can't have a shitty hotel. And these people, they don't realize I got to do an exterior rehab on it, and it costs money. You go look at these places that were built back. This place is probably built in the early 80s. Goddamn things, what's that? 80s to 100s, 20 years. And now here we are 24 years later. 24. No, this place was built in the 70s. This place is like 50 years old. Okay. When you start looking at properties, it used to be I didn't care, too much how old the property was because it was back then. The property wasn't that old. But now I'm looking at properties. You got to be careful when you're looking at properties in the 70s and the 80s. You got to start thinking about some serious shit. If you really look at any kind of property, I mean,
especially
you're all right.
Especially where it's located too now, because if you got an older property, let's say near the beach, there's so many new laws coming out. Especially with that tragic condo being
buildings have been
destroyed.
Falling down. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Where was that at? Miami?
People are dying. People died in South Florida. A building collapsed. I mean, those are really right on the salt air, on the salt water, and the salt air deteriorates the steel within the concrete, and the whole thing loses its integrity and comes down. I mean, it's crazy. So, they have these 40-year inspections. And I think, there was some issues with that one with past inspection, or they were in a waiting period or some shit. But you got to be careful with older properties because nothing lasts forever. Not us, not property, not nothing. And back in the 70s and 80s, it depends on the property, where it's at, what it's made out of, what's the plumbing, okay, what's the electrical, and then here, when you're around a lot of salt water, you got to worry about, the weather has been beaten into it, So, you got to check it. In windows, the biggest thing is if you're buying a building and it was built in the 60s or 70s and you got the original windows, listen, windows cannot last more. Windows really don't last 50 years. Why? Because these used to be old crank bullshit or this up and down shit. I don't know. Point is, windows are a big concern to me. Okay, windows, roofs. Those are the big ones that you typically always find an issue with. And then you got to make sure, and then if the place looks like it's still 70s or 80s, that's going to be a problem. You got to dress it up these days. So
be careful if you think a property. Well, if you know a property is old, be careful. Anyways,
do more homework and do a real good inspection.
Shout out to the first super chat of the night, guys. We are doing super chat, so if you want our question read on air, send it on super chat, and we'll try to get to it. So shout out Dennis. Thank you for the first super chat of the night. Hey Ben, what state would you recommend getting your first fourplex in? What should you look for in the property itself?
Any state, wherever you live. If you're only going to have a little fourplex, you really want to be close to it. So wherever you live, okay? As far as picking a state that's growing, I don't know. Well, it seems like, it's all over the board. Everywhere is growing, but follow the big shots. If you want to really know where it's growing, follow the big shots. They spend money on determining where it's going. But to buy a fourplex, you got to buy it somewhere in a radius, okay? You look at yourself here. Here I am. This is where I'm at on a map, a dot. Then you draw a circle around it. How far are you willing to go outside that circle? 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive? Maybe you're willing to go a couple hours. I don't know. draw a circle on a map, and that's where you find one, and then you got to find a good deal. There's good deals everywhere, I mean, not everywhere, but, the more you look, the more you're going to find. That's
take into account, too, the tax laws. Taxes play a big part of
Some
it.
states have tax. I think there's about 8 of us left that don't. Okay. In Texas, Florida, Alaska, I think. I don't know. Look it up.
I'll look it up.
But anybody want to know what the non-taxable states are? Google it. It's real simple. I'm not going to sit here and remember.
All right. We
states.
have, let's see,
I didn't come here for an
Washington.
exam.
What do we got? Tax-free income states.
All right. All right. What else we got? We got a caller.
We got a caller.
Already? God damn it. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Ben? Remember me? I took your course.
You took my course? Do we have a private meeting?
We had a private meeting.
Oh, you're one person, okay, that I'll never. You're like at the top of the fucking people I'll remember doing a private meeting with. Okay, can't hear you.
I'm never gonna forget you.
But listen, can I tell people about you, or are you still under hiding? You're in hiding.
No, I'm good. We're totally good. Go ahead, say whatever you want.
I mean, he's a great guy, but all I remember, I remember, and I know people that know Vegas, okay? This guy's living in I can't tell people where you're living, but it's a real high-end place in Vegas, okay? If you're going to stay in Vegas, you're going to rent you owned it. It was a condo.
I do.
This
I'm
guy didn't
selling
just
it.
rent something fancy. He bought something fancy right in the heart of Vegas, and he's going out to all the clubs, and he's wine and dining and living a life, baby.
He's in a Lamborghini.
Are you ready to? Did you sell a goddamn car like I told you to do?
I'm in it right now.
He's in it right now.
He's in a Urus.
What are you in? Can I hear it, Aaron?
Yeah, the Urus. Hey, but listen. I got the. Hey, check this out. So you guys want to save money? What you got to do is go to $49 Montana registration. You register a corporation Montana, and then you literally save like $20,000. A $200,000 car cost me $1,000 instead of 18 grand. So that took me a long time. I just got the registration back.
Talking about the car?
He's talking about saving money
on the car.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for the car? How much did you pay for it?
$200,000.
Listen. $200,000.
I'm gonna sell it though because of you. I'm selling it.
You sold it already. But Vegas ain't gonna pay you a lot. I don't think you can get a lot in Vegas. You're gonna have to go online and sell it. I mean, I don't know. We already talked. You need money in that bank, all right? That fancy car ain't taking you to the next deal. Okay.
So here's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say because of your advice, it kind of flipped a switch in my mind, and I make a good income and I was spending my income, but now I'm at the mindset of I don't want to spend a penny of my income. I want to invest it all into real estate, and whatever I cash flow from that's the money that I'm going to allow to spend myself. So it's a much better way of building wealth. And like I said, I would not have thought of it this way if I did not meet you. You kind of flipped a switch on helping me save money. And also, here's another thing. Now that I'm saving more money, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm looking at other businesses that have a higher barrier to entry, such as loaning my own money, becoming a car dealer, starting a bank or starting a car insurance company. And these all have a high level of capital. So basically, what you've done for me is give me advice to give me much more opportunities, and I will forever be grateful for that.
Thank you very much. But listen, did you take the most important advice you should have left with? Okay, I hope you took it. Aaron, don't listen to this. Did you stop at the $1,000 hookers and get a porno cable channel?
No, we're good. Oh, no more.
God. This guy's
I'm going to the gym, and I'm getting phone numbers the normal way now.
Yeah, try doing things the normal way. All right,
Stop normal way.
Money. All right, you're spending money like you're a prince and king, and stop. All right, get that money saved in the bank. You don't need a guy like you doesn't need to live that goddamn good. All right, not yet. Do it later. All right, well,
Good news on that. I was forced to do so because recently my bank account got shut down because you know why. And then the new bank account, my daily limit before was 10,000. Now it's 500. So now I'm forced to not spend money. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's a good thing.
The crazy people are in Vegas. Vegas is a very listen. It's one thing to go there and have a good time, but the people that live there, oh my God, that's all. proud.
No. The only reason I moved here is so I could not pay state income tax.
You should have went to Florida like me. It's a
Hey
lot
man,
cheaper.
Florida. Miami was crazier than Vegas, to be honest, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not Tampa, but Miami is fucking nuts.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're on the right track, and I hope you're, because you can make money in Vegas, but you gotta. It's hard to discipline yourself in Vegas being a single guy. It really is.
No, it's true.
And, it's not a good place to go. I almost went there, and I said, "Hell no, I ain't raising a family here." But there's opportunity, but it's hard to live straight there. It's just too much.
Here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about selling my place to the Waldorf. I got about maybe 300 liquid to get out of there, and I was gonna buy like a few studios in the Trump. And the good thing about the Trump Towers is they let you Airbnb. Well, a lot of places will not let you Airbnb. They have no problem doing that. So instead of leasing it out for 25,
it could work because there's a lot of group of people where if you market it right and you attract Trumpers, then it could work. Making money on his name.
I mean, half of the country loves it, right?
You better go over you better call me before you go do anything and sign any dotted line. All right. In the meantime. Yes, call me and let me know when you're ready to really make a next deal because you told me about some of your deals.
I got 250 saved right now. I'm gonna call you in this next month before I do anything.
Don't get involved with nobody, okay? Anybody trying to sell you something, there's a reason why they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to get your money, all right? And their plan, you might think they have a good plan, but you only trust yourself. All right. You need to run your own show, do your own thing, control everything, and not try to think you're going to sit back and depend on somebody else because they're going to screw you.
Fuck that.
I'm telling you.
100%. Yes, sir.
So basically, just stay on the right track. I'm glad you're doing good and get back to me whenever you can. And it was really a great time meeting you. All right. We had a great time.
I'm telling you, you're my Jewish uncle. I love you, Ben. I'm going to call you in 2 weeks. All right, brother?
All right, get to the gym, work it out, and get phone numbers. Don't come with a checkbook. All right, take care. Thanks. I appreciate it. I tell you, meeting him was, I honestly, I really had a great time with him because, I mean, I could be straight with him. I was straight with him. I told him, I said, listen, I'm not going to cookie cut this or I'm not going to candy coat this shit. I'm going to tell you where the hell you're screwing up. All right. And you need to stop right now, okay? You need to change your lifestyle, okay? Because you made some money down the road. Now you're going to piss it all away. That's the only road you're going down, all right? And that's not the way it works, not the lifestyle you're living. You can start living a little better, but you can't start just, living that Vegas life with the fancy place and the fancy girls. And he's spending $1,000 on dinner for 2 people. I mean, come on. Vegas is a very, very expensive place if you want to have a good time. You get a good time, it's going to cost you plenty. So,
Vegas
you've been
is fun.
there.
I love Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas
everybody loves Vegas, but to live there and try to keep that lifestyle going. Thank God he didn't do drugs or anything like that because he wouldn't last forever. He'd last no time there. He wasn't a big drinker or drugs. He just like having a good time, which, Anyway, he didn't listen to me because he's still driving a freaking Lamborghini. I told him to sell that goddamn thing, put that goddamn money in the bank right away. I would have done it the next day.
Oh, man. All right. Shout out, Alex. Thank you for the super chat. All right. So I have I need advice on a property. So if I flip it, I profit $350K, or I can rent it out and make 18% ROI. The reason for the flip is I can 1031 into a personal home I'm buying, which would result in being debt-free on my personal home. So what's your advice?
I don't know. I mean, to seriously sit there and crank numbers, it's going to take 10 minutes. That's why he needs to go to benmal.com/shop and get sold with Ben.
So would you take the $350K?
I mean, the point is this. Whenever you're in a position to either not sure if you want to sell or rent, okay, he said he's going to get 18% return on his money. All right. But if he sells it, he'll have $350,000. The question is, how much does he have right now? And how is that $350,000 going to change his opportunity? Because if you go back and you rent it out, I mean, you get 18% of your money, but that 18% ain't going to have the bulk of the cash to do another deal. Okay. Yeah. So many times in my life, I had to say, I don't want to sell this property. This property's making good money. But I didn't have any goddamn money in the bank to do nothing else. And I already refinanced it and pulled all the money out of it I could. And I didn't have enough. I need a little more. So I had to sell. Because why? Yeah, I was getting 18%. You get 18, 20% on your money, but I could make hundreds or millions on the deal if I take that money and throw it in something else. So, over time, it would take me 10 years to make the same money at the return than it would by selling the property. With selling the property, you get all the money now. You sit back and, and you get the return every the next 10 years. That's the story. I always determine this. I look at a deal. I say, okay, if I sell this property right now, I'll get 10 times the income right now that I have to wait 10 years down the road for. I'm selling because, I'm not going to be here in 10 years maybe. Who the hell knows? I'm not waiting. I'd rather get that money now, okay? And these days, you can put the money in the bank and still get 5+%. So,
and still use it.
Or you go to tax-free municipal bonds, which will pay you. The fund, Rochester Fund's paying like 5+%. I think that's like 8% taxable to me, so that's not bad. Anyway, if I got to know more about the guy, but listen, what's his next move going to be? If he rents it out, can he make a next move? That's the question. Okay, so he's got to get me on the phone. We got to talk numbers. We got to talk about his life, and we got to figure out what's the smartest thing to do.
Shout out Jake. Thank you for the super chat. What is Ben going to smoke when Biden outlaws menthol?
Biden will hopefully be here soon, and Biden even can't even remember the name of his favorite cookies. How the hell is he remember? I don't know. I don't want to talk about Biden. I don't want to talk about politics because does it make any sense? All right, that I'm a 58-year-old man and I can't smoke what I want. I'm not hurting nobody, So I don't know, but then again, listen, if it deters all the thing about advertising and marketing, I'm all for, because I don't want kids to start smoking like I got caught into it at the age of 12. So, but you got the people already doing it. All right. Wait till we're all dead and then you can stop selling menthols. All right. Maybe that makes sense. You got to find something that makes sense to everybody. That's the problem with politics. Everybody's got their way to go. The other people got their way to go. Why can't they just, steer it a little differently and come together? It's like, I don't get it, Stop trying to control stupid things. He's got more important things to worry about than menthol cigarettes, all right? We got 2 wars going on in the world right now. We got people dying, destruction. We got the friggin', it's crazy what's going on in the world right now. So worry about that stuff. Let's get some peace going on in the world. Then we worry about the damn smoking. That should be down below all the other important things that we have in life right now.
All right, shout out Adrian. What is the most money that you've earned in one deal?
I don't know.
Rocky Point?
The biggest deal I ever did? I don't know. A hotel one time in Tampa, when I was involved with Hulk Hogan, Hogan's
you guys
Beach,
probably
and all
remember
that.
it.
I bought that hotel. George Steinbrenner used to own it.
Really?
George Steinbrenner owned it. He kept the Yankees there in training, But, he moved on, and the next guy was the biggest mobile home RV guy in the whole country, and I got it from him because he had no business buying it. Why do people buy hotels and don't get involved with them? It's not an investment. All right. If you think you're going to buy a hotel, sit back and do nothing, you're crazy. You'll lose your shirt, even with a management company, because hotels are a business. Anyway, we came in there and the place was shabby, and Happy fixed it all up. And, it was on the waterfront and it was nice. So anyway, paid like $17 for it. I never gave Happy any money. I know that. He took all the money I made for the hotel and he put it into fixing it up over a period of a couple of years, a year. No, he does it quick. And I don't remember ever having to give him money. He took all the money from the income, fixed the place up. And then, I don't know. We owned it for like 3 years, something like that. And we made like $17 million. We bought it for 17. We sold it for 34, I think.
So you bought the building for $17 million. And over 3 years, you sold it for $34 million?
I got lucky. All right. That shit don't happen all the time. That was probably the biggest one of my career.
That's pretty crazy.
But, I don't know.
And you 1031.
Anyway, I asked you to do me a favor, but you didn't do it.
What?
Because you're too busy going to concerts. How the hell you got home 1 o'clock in the morning? I track every move he makes. I actually know why his mother likes this thing. I know where he's at, what time he left, everywhere he goes on 360, baby. They should be a sponsor because I use the shit out of 360. We track these kids everywhere they go. And this morning you left the house like, what, 7?
No, I left, like 7 a.m. 6:45.
Anyway, I wish I had that kind of energy. Shit.
We
Anyway,
didn't
what were we
catch
talking
anything.
about?
Biggest deal. We already passed that.
We
So
already passed. Biggest
shout
deal.
out Jordy. Thank you for the super chat.
What's going on in the news?
The news. Okay.
People want to know what's going on. What's new? I'm going to do a channel called
one
What's
thing
New?
Is, squatters. Big problem in real estate.
Oh my God.
DeSantis says that property rights central to Florida's leading fight against squatters. So he is for property rights, which is good.
Listen, squatters. The whole thing, it just sounds ridiculous to me. In my 35 years of career, have I experienced it? Not really. I guess my places weren't good enough for the squatters. They went and squatted in nice places. But the lady in New York got arrested because she's trying to get squatters out of her house. Listen, always the way you can prevent shit from happening is to, do something to prevent it. Okay, that's why a lot of stupid shit don't happen to me, because I always try to prevent stupid shit from happening. Like we're in New York. We came back from New York last week, okay?
Yep.
I'm conscious of what's going on around me in New York, okay? Because I know the underbelly, all right? And, that's why I'm not going to be nobody's victim, okay? And that's why whenever we go places, I tell you this and that, because, if you're thinking about it, all right, and you're aware of what could happen and you're prepared, okay? Me and you came out of the Broadway show, right?
Yep.
This guy, I wish we had a camera for this guy. This guy could have won an award for being crazy, homeless, and nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
And he stood there because in the intermission in the show, listen, those shows are long and the kids want to see a show. I got to go out and have a cigarette. So me and him go out in the freezing cold New York in front of the whole theater,
theater.
And smoking a cigarette. Of course, when you stand around smoking a cigarette in New York in certain streets, people are going to start coming up to you, and he didn't know who the hell I was and nothing. Yeah. Anyway, so the point was, he was nuts.
He was crazy. Yeah.
And I tell you, what do you do with these people? You
ignore
them.
Ignore them.
You just ignore. The guy was standing there very close to me, talking, blah, 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 ooh, blah, blah. And I just totally fucking ignored him and enjoyed my cigarette, didn't I?
You did.
Anyway, prevent, squatters thing. Okay. If you got a property, we got a lot of snowbirds in Florida, so a lot of people don't stay in their houses or whatever. I don't know. The point is, monitor your property. If you own something, it's yours. Monitor it. Get the damn Ring. Get a camera. Get a motion sensor. Everything with technology today is cheap. It goes to your phone, right? Alerts you. And that's what you got to do. Monitor your property, But anybody... this whole thing, that's why, New York and all these crazy cities where everybody's got rights to make no sense. You shouldn't have a right to go and even step foot on somebody's property if you have no business being there. Okay. So I don't even understand, to me, it's trespassing. Okay. But, if you got this whole thing about people just going to start maybe now because of the way the world's so crazy and people are desperate and nuts and they got all these rights now they can start doing more shit. Oh, we'll just go squat in somebody's house. They're not going to do nothing to us. If we're letting the goddamn lowest level of society start thinking that way, we're really in trouble. If people think they can just go into an empty house and start staying there, then, things have really gotten out of hand with today's political and rules and laws and all that stuff. Yep. We've gone absolutely cuckoo if people have gone to that level now.
I mean,
it must be a problem because you hear a lot about it, and then if DeSantis is signing bills to crush it, then that's it,
So according to the Washington Examiner, DeSantis signed legislation to criminalize squatting, so making it illegal for squatters to move into private property. He also says... he also notes how California and New York people will get punished for just trying to remove squatters from their home.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's your property. Protect it. Monitor it. All right. And as soon as you think something's going on there, act. We got all kinds of things put in place to watch our properties or whatever. I don't know. You have a day, and you'll probably see it maybe on a video. Me and Paulie were out riding our trikes, and we said, hey, let's go buy the property. That's what we do. That's what I do for fun. That's how this damn business, engulfs my life. We're out trying to go out for a bike ride. What do? We end up going to properties and checking them. Makes sense. We kill two birds with one stone. We go out for a bike ride.
Friday night.
We get to check our property.
Friday night, we went to my uncle's birthday party, and we go drive a property in Tampa that we're looking at to buy.
And at what time of night was that?
That was, I don't know, midnight. Maybe
midnight probably. looking at properties because Vincent's driving the van. And he took us all, to Tampa. So we're going to take a bunch of cars. So anyway, after I said, well, we're in Tampa. I said, why not? Let's go. Vincent, take us to the properties you want us to buy, and so anyway, that's what we do. We mix our business with our pleasure, and and you're getting a lot done then. So anyway, getting back to the squatters, we went behind the shopping plaza we got, and the weather's nice. When the weather gets nice in Florida and other places, people will sleep outside. They have guts. I wouldn't do it. I didn't even do it in the Army. With an Army around me. Anyway, these people set up camp, and we found there, getting there, ready to build. They had found this little cubby hole in the back where the loading dock was at, and they're getting ready to build themselves a goddamn summer place, And so, we had to go there and get them to get all this shit together, and anyway. But listen, if you live somewhere with the squatters, especially, and you know what's happening, then be smart and do something to monitor your property. End of subject. I don't know what to say, but nobody's got a right to come on my property unless they got a reason to be there. And if it's in New York, California, yeah, they're going to get away with. The cops don't want to get involved, which makes no sense to me. So anyway, that's the story there.
All right. There you go. So shout out to Anthony. Thank you for the super chat. Big B, how are you feeling about Valley's rates right now? Any recommendation on interest-only HELOCs? How do you feel about turnkey Section 8 rentals under $90K, cash flowing $800 per month? So you got
Holy shit. What the hell?
All right, so first to start off, what do you think about Valley's rates right now?
Listen, banks are banks are banks. They're all the same, okay? It depends who you are and what kind of relationship you got with the bank, all right? Valley's still a very strong bank, and they're national, and they're a good bank to work with because if there's a deal to be made, they're going to make the deal. And they're going to be, to me, I found them to be more knowledgeable as far as if you're really in a business, like any kind of business, even not just mine, but they look at me as somebody that's in a real estate business. They look at your cash flow. Every bank's the same, but the Valley's easy to get along with. They look at what you got coming in and how much money you're worth. It's all about risk tolerance. The less risk you are, the more the banks are going to want to work with you. It's common sense. You're going to want to loan money to somebody is good for it, right? That's the way it works. So, every bank's pretty much goes by the same rules. And, but the better and the stronger you are, the better rate you're going to get. There's different, they got rid of LIBOR, then they went to SOFA, and now they're doing something else. But it's all basically the same rates. It's tied to the Treasury. It runs in line with the Treasury notes. And it depends on how long you're going to borrow the money. There's a lot of things that have to do with borrowing money. Okay, I can sit here all night and talk about that. But, Valley's good. Listen, go to 3 or 4 banks, see what they all offer you. That's what I do. What do you say? Any what? Interest on HELOC. HELOC. HELOCs are just for homes, home equity line of credit. That's for your home. Listen, HELOCs are great to me. Not that I use them or need them, but if you do use them and need them, they're great. You know why? Because they're a line of credit. Okay, so what? You tie the line of credit against your house, and the rates suck for everybody right now, but you don't pay on the money unless you use it. All right, so you don't use the money until you know you're going to make money with the money you're borrowing, because you got to start paying on that money and use it. But you could borrow it a little pieces at a time. You can pay it back in a little pieces at a time. It's a way that enables you to keep rolling, all right? But don't touch the money unless you have a specific purpose for it to make more money, all right? Some people get HELOCs against the house just to remodel them. That's fine, too, if you can afford, the extra payment on it, But HELOCs are great. You just got to shop around, too. It's usually give you the best deal and the highest LTV. A lot of them go to 90%. I don't know if it's still doing it in this market, but they were at 90% LTV. Normally, people have maybe 80% in their house, 70%. These guys, banks go to 90. Why? Because it's a place where you lay your head. And they know you're not going to be homeless. So you're going to pay your goddamn bill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Except if you were back in Oakland, they wouldn't pay me rent, but they paid their car payment. I used to piss me off. Listen, they have a fancy car. And I tell the tenant, I says, you know what? If you didn't have a fancy car out there, maybe you got a cheaper car, you had no problem paying your rent. What's more important? In your house, your car. And you know what they did? I swear to God. You know what they did?
No, what?
They handed me the keys to the apartment and they slept in their car. That's how much they loved their car. It was a nice car. All right, here we go. Right. What else you say?
Pretty much just how do you feel about Section 8?
Section 8 rentals under 90. What's it say? Section 8. Turnkey Section 8 rentals, turnkey. Turnkey Section 8 rentals under 90,000 cash flowing 800 per month. Under 90,000 cash flowing 800 a month. I don't understand cash flowing 800 a month per unit. I don't think so. But listen, it's all the numbers, okay? Section 8 rentals are great because you know the money's going to go directly ACH right into your account for the housing authority. The tenants pay little or nothing. So we all know Section 8 is a good thing if you need it and you're in a location that's difficult to rent or it's a tough place. And, you know, you want to make sure your money's guaranteed because the people in the area may not be making a lot of money. So if they lose their job or blah, 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 they can't pay you. With Section 8, you ain't got to worry, you know, and, you know, you can look for good work-class people, seniors. Section 8's a great program if you got a property that's kind of tough to rent. All right. And you want stability. What Section 8 does is it gives you stability, you know, because, you know, for the next year, you got a contract guaranteed with the rent. And then there you go. They used to pay if the tenant damaged the place. I don't know if they still do that. Now they say, no, you're on your own. Collect the deposit. Oh, yeah. Talking about, I wanted to talk about, okay, I'll talk about that later. What else?
All right.
What else did he, any more questions for me? We paid you all the money.
No more questions.
You know?
All right. Shout out.
Thank you very much.
Shout out Big Nick. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out Vermont Internet Design. Where do you recommend finding banks to finance these, you know, real estate deals?
Where do you recommend finding banks? They're everywhere. To finance what?
To finance real estate, just like what
every
banks,
bank finances real estate. It's the one thing every bank loves. The easiest thing in the world to finance is real estate. Okay, they like it a lot better than inventory and all these other types. Who else are going to lend money to? You know, real estate is probably where most of all the money gets loaned to. You know, so I mean, you got to go around and you can start with your own area. If you're doing a small deal, start with a local bank, you know, and see what they got to offer. You know, you can go to the big banks. You got a million banks out there.
Make them compete against each other.
They're all the same.
You
banks are banks.
Yeah. I mean, you also
qualify. The property qualifies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and that's it. And this is what your payment's going to be. I mean, you know, it's not rocket science to borrow money. You know, basically somebody's giving you money and that's it. You got to go around and it's shopping. You got to shop around if you really want to get down to it because some banks have a different appetite for different types of deals. You got banks that specialize and say, yeah, you know, we really like doing a lot of multifamily, you know, so they pretty much only do multifamily and they're not so generous on the retail or hotel or something like that, you know. So
shop around. You make them compete. Make them compete against each other.
Go to any bank.
All right. Shout out, John.
Lay the deal on the table. Lay your life on the table, and that's all you got to do. And they'll tell you, yeah, we could do this, or no, we can't do it, but we can do it if this, and this. It's a process.
All right. Shout out, Josu. Thank you for the super chat. Will the low inventory of single family properties in markets like California keep the market from a big price dip? I've seen no like tract homes being built in my area since 2012. It's all been multifamily.
I mean, because that's what, you know, whatever the developers think they're going to make money on, you know, they're building multifamily because they think that's the route to go right now because, you know, because the interest rate's so high and people aren't buying homes. I think we're at an all-time low of people buying homes, you know.
So do you think a low inventory of the single family homes will like
raise the price?
Will keep it from like a big price dip? Like keep it from dropping.
I mean, yeah.
Supply and demand, I guess. I don't know.
Right now, nobody's buying houses like they used to be because of the interest rates. Okay, simple fact. I mean, if the interest rate comes down, people will start buying houses again. You know, but we're at this weird standstill right now. You know, where the sellers don't want to swallow the fact that they can't get what they used to get, and the buyers don't want to pay what they used to have to pay at half the interest rate, you know, so the values are just not making sense right now. And that's why brokers are telling me every day they're crying, they're begging for a deal. They're begging to close a deal. They're not closing deals like they used to. Okay. The whole market has came, not a total shutdown, but it's come to where it's just creeping along, you know, it ain't moving, baby. Things ain't shaking and moving right now in real estate, let me tell you. And I'm waiting, you know, I'm hoping the shaking and moving starts when you see distress, you know, because let me tell you something. Right now, I know this for a fact. It's no secret, okay? And I'm only going to tell you things that I believe are facts. Right now, everybody that borrowed money back in 2020, okay, or 2019, those people, if they were in apartment buildings and commercial loans, a lot of them didn't go out for long-term financing. Okay, a lot of people don't go out for that financing, that business. Why? Because there's all kinds of costs associated with penalties, and they make it to where you're going to keep that loan. If we're going to give you this good rate, you're going to keep that loan for 10, 20 years. A lot of people don't do that. I don't do that. So what happens is you go out and you borrow money on 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, or 10-year. That's what my experience is. Okay, and the shorter time you go out, then the money's going to come due. And now because the interest rates are double, it doesn't mean it's debt ratio. Your property ain't worth as much as it used to be worth. That's the fact. And right now what they're doing is the banks are scared shitless. They are. I know it. They're not foreclosing, and they can't refinance. So what they're doing, they're closing their eyes and making believe that everything's okay. Hey, as long as the guy's paying his damn mortgage, extend him. The word for 2024 in real estate finance is extend, okay? Because that's all they want to do. They don't want to, rock the boat and start dealing with foreclosures and start dealing with receiverships and people going belly up, and people aren't willing to make a capital call to buy down their debt. So I'm hoping that eventually, and I think politics has a lot to do with it. I think eventually, I don't know, but I'm hoping that sooner or later, the bank's going to want to get paid back. Okay. So we'll see what happens. I'm starting to see the distress trickle down now. Some people are saying, you know what, we need our money back because we can make more money if we get that property back, sell it, and invest it now versus sitting around getting that low return. That's what the banks are doing. And Wall Street and everybody that loans money out in real estate. And then plus, God forbid, you saw what happened in California, that bank went belly up.
Yep.
Why? Because their assets ain't worth shit compared to what they loaned on. So, that's the problem. And if the banks let the cat out the bag and say, hey, all these loans are due and, and they're not worth what we loaned on them with the same loan values, then that reduces the value of the bank. The bank is only worth two things. The bank's worth: deposits on hand and their loans. They're in business to make loans. And if the loans go bad, the bank goes bad. And their stock goes down the toilet. Just like I lost my shirt because I preferred stock in that damn Republic National in California.
First Republic.
But I bought it years ago, so I can't even blame my broker. He didn't know. So anyway, there you go. What else?
All right. We have a caller, right?
We have a caller.
Jeffrey.
Yo, what's up, Ben?
What's up, Jeffrey?
What's up on the Ben Mollick podcast here?
He almost looks like the young version of that actor. What's his name? The guy, famous actor, good actor, played a lawyer and all that.
I hope I look like a good actor.
He played like that. It was a movie he made where he was a lawyer out of his Lincoln Continental or something. Really cool. All right, what's up? What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey, so I had a question here. So I'm 24 years old right now. I saved up about like $85,000. I'm in Chicagoland though, so things are pretty expensive here. So I was thinking I go like the property manager route, and I don't have any experience in that. So like, what can you do to look like a really good candidate for employers for that?
Listen, you gotta have you want to look good, you got to show what the hell you've done. Now you're 24, so you hadn't had a lot of time to do anything. All right, you have any college? You have a resume?
A little bit. I've worked at a job for like 5 years. I did baggage handling for American Airlines, but I also sold insurance for about a year.
All right, listen. If you want to break into a field, there's no way of breaking into a field unless you're born into it, unless you start at the bottom and get the experience. Okay. Right. I started in property management. I wouldn't be in real estate today. I never would have bought real estate if I didn't spend the time, pay the dues in managing property. Okay. And I started at the very bottom. You can't go any lower than I started. You're not going to have to start as low as I did. Okay. But basically, if you're real serious about it, the problem is, are you working right now?
Yeah, I'm working.
All right. So let me ask you a question. You handle baggage, right? We just took a trip. Anyway, so do you guys ever go through the bags? Because my wife got really you or my wife got mad because I put an envelope with a bunch of cash in it. It wasn't
luggage. Just a little bit of cash.
It depends on the airline. You got to watch out for some of those airlines. They use some pretty shady guys.
I've seen some
not me
baggage
though. Not
handlers.
me though.
Not me.
No,
How'd
no.
you get the 85,000? That's what I want to know. He's a
Listen,
baggage
listen.
handler. He's got
I was saving
85,000.
good. I was saving good.
Sounds like
Hey man, I see a lot of bags.
yeah. And who knows what the hell he was in some of those bags. I heard about you guys. You got deals cut with people moving shit. I watched that channel. What's that channel? The drug channel. Where they busted. They actually busted. I was great. They did a whole setup with the guy that was working in JFK.
Big airport.
Was moving dope through JFK in bags, and then they showed the baggage handler in Jamaica, man.
Yeah.
You want
Hey,
the don't worry.
They got to get to where they're going. Packaging's got to
see
get to where they're going.
Make sure the bag has a special tag on it. I know which one to take care of.
Exactly.
Anyway, basically, what you're gonna have to do is this. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you doing to make money right now? You still working in baggage?
Yeah, so I'm working the baggage handling, and fortunately, I live at home right now, so unfortunately, I'm able to save most of that money.
I mean, the problem with property management is going to take up your time, and you're not going to make any money on an entry-level position. You have to start out as a leasing agent. You're going to have to start out as somebody that can assist in the office. The smartest thing for you to do is, I mean, have you thought about trying to, the way you get into management without, giving up your job is first go get a real estate license. Take one course. Take one course online. It's one test. They got schools that help you with everything. Get the real estate test done, and then get your sales license.
Right.
And you need a lake in Chicago? Or you near any high-end condos? And all that shit,
Yeah, no, there's some nice areas I'm around. So
all right, so listen, get your real estate license. You can knock it out in probably a couple of months, and then go to the most expensive. Do you have a suit? You own a suit, or you just got your uniform?
it's just I don't have a suit.
Just go to Burlington and go get a cheap suit. That's it. That's what I've done.
Whatever works.
Go to any cheap store and buy a cheap suit. It doesn't even matter.
Well, let's get the license. Knock the license out. Get a nice suit. Go to the most expensive real estate office in town that's selling shit for big money, and tell them I got my license. I want to learn and do it on the side until you start making money in real estate. Because what will happen is because you're connected with a real estate office, there might be some opportunities there for property management too. Okay. But, to get a property management job, you're going to have to start, or you could, listen, put a resume together, show what you've done, and just go and try to get an entry-level position and see how much they're going to pay and see if you can afford to live off of that. What they pay you, because sometimes with leasing, but try to look for the high end where they're spending money, because like the expensive apartment buildings, the leasing agents get bonuses on top of their salary. So and maybe you'll find a nice company where you can learn a lot and experience it. Or because what are you gonna do with the 85 grand? You're gonna try. You can't buy that in Chicago unless you go to a really tough neighborhood.
Not much.
I know where you can buy real estate right now, but I'm sorry. No offense, and I mean this as a compliment. You don't look like a tough guy.
That's okay. No,
Gary, Indiana.
I'm used to that. That's okay. Oh, Gary, I don't know about that.
Right, so forget that. You're not going to go in the hood like I did, because I
don't look like you. I'm glad about it. No, I'm kidding.
You're not big. You're not fat. You're not ugly. So
I used to be.
You're not going to do good in the hood.
Yeah, no hood for me, I guess.
Your glasses right off the bat are going to say, "Get them, boys."
Get them. Take his money. I'd have to take them off.
You're the guy that goes and he fixes up a house all day. I've seen guys like you do it. No, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying. I've seen nice, clean-cut guys really, really, try, and they go in a really tough neighborhood, and they go in and they put in all this new plumbing, and they fix up a house real nice, and they come back the next day and it's all gone.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry for those guys. I really felt sorry for those.
You got to learn one way.
Honestly, I used to go to neighborhoods that were so tough. I would have one of my guys live in the house while we were remodeling it with a duplex or the triplex or the fourplex. That's how bad it was. People would steal. So anyway, I would definitely look into getting your license. Go to real estate sales. Who knows? You might make it in sales really big. And then, then you start also hearing about the good deals coming. Because if you work in a real estate office, you're in that network of realtors, they hear about the deals first.
Right.
But I get a lot of calls from people in Chicago. I do private consulting, and the biggest problem they got, the guys that I talk to about doing work in Chicago, is the city. They're just a total pain in the ass to them. And
I hear it's very corrupt.
And it's very corrupt. And unless you know the right people, you're going to get screwed over, and they're going to suck all kinds of money out of you. And it's impossible to try to even do remodeling permits, building permits. It's just a total nightmare because it's one of those type cities.
Yeah, that's another reason I didn't really want to get invested here. Is just why would I invest somewhere so corrupt? When I could go anywhere.
I mean, you got to look. I don't know. You plan on staying in that area for a long time now? I guess.
Yeah, probably not.
Believe it or not, with your job description, you could pretty much probably go anywhere you want. Everywhere there's an airport, you can go.
Yeah, I could easily transfer.
There you go. Go find a city. Always, maybe visit a city and see if you like it enough there. And you can get a job anywhere you want, get a real estate license any state you want. But right now, get the one in Chicago. If you're going to be there for a while.
Right, I'll be here for at least like another year or so. So definitely,
you seem like a real smart guy. I know you're a smart guy, but whatever you do, don't do nothing stupid. At 24, I did a lot of stupid shit. Don't buy you don't need. Keep that money in the bank and keep trying to save every nickel you can. All right, and just I don't know. Hopefully you get lucky and find the right bag. You make some more money.
Hopefully. All right, thanks, Ben. I really appreciate the advice.
Thank you. Good luck to you. But go online tonight. And see who's offering the course, how much it is, where it is, and and get that test knocked out. Then you have a license to make money. Listen, if you really are the right kind of person, you could take that license. It could be equivalent to a college degree in a minute. All right, really, because you go out and use that license. There's no limit to the money you can make with a real estate license if you're, a real hustler. So good luck. All right, what else?
All right, shout out Michael. Thank you for the super chat. What's up, Big Ben? Asking for advice. I have a 2.3% 15-year mortgage with 120 grand in equity. I want a higher interest rate to offset the rental taxes. Does a cash out refi make sense to get another one? Why doesn't he just?
He wants a higher interest rate
to offset the rental taxes.
Offsets the rental taxes. Is he talking about his income taxes?
I guess income on the rental, taxes.
I don't really know. I don't want to give bad advice out. All I can tell you is right now, listen, if you got 2.3% interest rates, that thing's going to triple on you if you do a cash out refi. And then you're talking about, putting some, making your loan bigger. Okay. You better sit down and pencil out. Can you afford the mortgage you're paying now times 3? Can you afford that? It's going to be probably times 4 if you do a cash out refi. Can you afford to pay 4 times what you're paying now? So I don't know what your rental taxes are. Typically, when you earn income on your rental, you depreciate most of the rental income, and you do have sometimes little nothing to pay in most cases, unless you have a really low basis like me. But typically, you better look at, I don't know what you mean about the tax thing, all right? Because your taxes are your taxes. Yeah, if you pay more interest, you pay less taxes. That's a fact. I actually have sat down and worked those numbers because in my situation, but then again, I didn't have 2.3% interest. I would think it's a lot cheaper to pay the taxes than to quadruple your friggin' interest payment. And then if you ain't got no money, it is a source of way of getting money. But if it's a house, right? Is it a house? If it's a house, you can get a HELOC and then keep that 2.3. That's why HELOCs are great. You don't mess with the first mortgage. The first mortgage is in place. You go out and you borrow a little more at the higher rate. All right. And now you got the money to do something else. But you don't want to take that whole mortgage and start paying 4 times the amount if you don't have to. I mean, I don't know the numbers. You got to, maybe get me on the phone and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Shout out Jay Floyd, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Ben, thinking of moving and investing in Venice, Florida. What are your thoughts on Venice?
Where's Venice at? I've been to Venice. Is it near Fort Myers and all that? I don't know. I'm not an expert on Venice. It sounds like a nice place. Oh, I live in Venice. Florida, not Venice, Italy. Where's it at?
It's northwest Florida. I mean, not north.
Near Sarasota?
South, yeah.
Oh,
it's north of Fort Myers. That's what I was trying to say.
I said it's around Sarasota. Yeah. It's on the Gulf of Mexico on Sarasota. Sarasota happens to be a really nice town. I've never heard a bad word about Venice. I don't think it's that big, but it's definitely a vacation type place. What was his question?
Just what do you think about it?
Well,
About
listen,
Venice?
anything around that beach, anything near the water is going to be nice typically. Okay, that's a fact. Venice, I never heard a bad word about. Sarasota's nice. You need to go down there. You need to spend some time down there. You need to go to benshotels.com and you can drive there. It's only about 45 minutes from here or get a place down there. Check it out. Make sure it lines up with you. You like it. You can make money. You can afford to live there. Do your homework. That's what you got to do when you want to relocate. But Venice, I've never heard nothing bad about it. Sarasota is a great place. It's got little pockets of bad areas close to Bradenton, but get down there and do your homework, all right? And if you come around April the 20th, we're having a show. Come by the hotel. Come hang out with us. Go to benmal.com/live. Buy your ticket.
It's going to sell
spend
out.
a whole night together hanging out, having a great time.
You guys better get tickets. It's going to sell out. You're going to be in Tampa, Florida, one of the biggest, growing real estate places in the country, which I would say Tampa's huge. We're gonna have,
I just remembered something.
Okay.
Monday. What time can you be here after school Monday?
I can be here
without getting. Don't blame me for missing no class.
Oh, I could be here by 3:20.
Stop, not that. I need you here by 4:30.
I can be here by 4:30.
Okay, so school gets out at 3:30. I know you get home in an hour, right? Just don't stop.
I get out. I get out an early. I get an hour.
Chick-fil-A or some shit or
an hour
whatever
early. I get out an hour early tomorrow. So I can be here by 3:30.
All right, be here by 4:30 because I got I think the seniors from Tampa Prep coming here.
Okay.
They had some kind of class where they're doing something had to do in film studio class.
Okay.
And they needed a mansion for their school. And a friend of mine asked me to help the school. So you're going to meet 3 kids here tomorrow and give a tour of the mansion.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. I'm glad I forgot to tell you.
I'll be here.
All right. What else we got?
All right. Shout out Envrisito. Does it make sense to do a cash out refi right now to reinvest in a 3-family or 4-plex? Current rate I have is 5.75%. What did you say? Will add.
Does it make sense to do a cash out refi right now? You're sitting on a 5.575 interest rate. I mean, let's face it, if there's an opportunity for you to buy a 3 or 4 unit building and you're going to make some money on it, real money, then, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. That's life, but you're going to pay. If you do a cash out refi right now, you're probably going to pay about, anywhere from 1 to 2 points more. Depends on you. All right. Do the work, do the numbers, go to the bank, find out what your new rate's going to be and see how much more it's going to, affect you now. And then go out and find a deal. I mean, it's all about, sometimes you got to risk to get reward, So, yeah, you're going to pay a little more high interest rate. But if it means by not doing it, you don't do the deal, then that's not good. The deal could put you up a lot higher than that extra 1 point you're going to pay on your current mortgage. So, if you ain't got no cash and you got to get cash, you got to get it from somewhere. It's going to cost you a little more, but at least you get the cash and you can do the next deal. But make sure it's a good deal. Okay, because that deal's got to make up enough money to pay for, you paying that higher interest rate now. So, listen, that's the way life is. Interest rates go up, they go down, blah, blah, blah. It's part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. It's called life, and that's it. Life is for sale. We have another caller. We got a lot of callers tonight. Hello.
So I've got a fun story for you. We own an end of an island. End of an island. So if I'm not sure if you're able, if you have a computer next to you, look up Pawleys Island on Zillow and then look for the south end. And basically, the value was $600.
We just got. You know what he's talking about? Can you put up Paul? His name is Pawleys Island.
Pawleys Island. It's 30 minutes south of Myrtle Beach,
South Carolina.
Yes.
Right? I was thinking, it's funny you said that because honestly, I've been thinking, I watch real estate and it seems like I don't know anything about Myrtle Beach and I want to go there. I'm just telling you that. I want to go there because their beach prices are cheaper than ours in Florida. But how much business do they get? Because
beach prices, they're more expensive. 100-foot section is, they're asking, I see it, $3.9 million.
For what? On this island?
Yes, and
island, you have a boat?
the bottom of the island that we own.
What's on the island?
The bottom, the south end, absolutely nothing.
Why do people go there? What's the story? Islands are weird.
Because they made a renourishment project, but now it is invading the next island, and it is a very rich family. They're donated hundreds of millions of dollars.
What's the point? How are we going to make some money?
Okay, so they offered us $100 million. They offered us first, well, can you give it to us for free? And we said no. Then they offered 250, and we said no. Then they offered 500,000, and we said no. Then they offered $1 million, and we know that one of the parties involved in the lawsuits has an insurance policy up to 4.5 million. So what do you do?
Are there any comps? Do you have any comps? Has anybody ever sold anything on this island before?
They have to buy it because otherwise
this island.
they're forced to buy it.
Who's buying it?
Well, we just got an offer from the family that owns the next house in the next island, because our island is growing, and we have actually no restrictions on our land. Like your house has specific points where you own and don't own.
All right. The point is this: what is it? What is the value in the land? Is there any comps? Has anybody ever sold a piece compared to you on that island? What size is it? What size is your piece? How many acres?
It keeps growing.
What do you mean the island's growing?
Yeah, yes, because of this.
You own a piece of an island.
Yes.
The sands.
Yes.
You own a piece of an island.
He's talking about the sands actually growing in his piece. Like it's
growing.
growing.
Correct. Grows in the Bahamas.
It's not growing, but like it's coming in from the tides.
Yep. No, it's growing. The whole entire piece is growing.
How long have you owned this piece of an island?
Oh, forever. Our family has a long history. That's why they were like, "Oh, you're friends with us. You should give it to us for free."
What was the purpose of owning it? What did you do with it? You go there and you go. What do you do?
We hoped one day to build a house on it because these houses are $3, $4, $5 million.
So the value is in building a house on the island. That's where the value is.
You cannot build a house there. So it was valued at $600, and now they have to. The county or the family across the street has to buy it. So they're forced to buy it. So what do you do? Do you hold out and keep asking for more and just go up to the maximum of the insurance policy?
I hate to ever just talk out of my what. This is there's a lot of things that are pieces to this puzzle here. I mean, me and you would have to really sit down for like at least 10 minutes straight, 15 minutes, and talk about the specifics, what your options are, what are your choices, and what's the best choice to make. Okay, I need to know all that shit. Oh, there's too many details. An island. How many people have to sell a piece of an island? You're like 1 in 100 million. No, you're 1 in a billion, or more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very unique situation. I can't just say what I would do until I know all the factors involved. So you really should get a hold of me in a serious way on the side and call or file and make a call or something, and let's talk about it, because then I'll do some homework and try to understand it and know all the factors.
Yeah, it's just a really interesting story because they have to buy it.
I need to know where your family, where you're at, who's the money go to, how's it going to affect your life now if you sell it? You haven't done nothing in all these years. Maybe it's it could be a great opportunity for you to finally get rid of this thing that ain't made you no money and just an asset you own. I don't know. We got to sit down and talk serious about it. So I don't want to be rude, but I can't sit here all night and really get in, because I would never want to give you bullshit information. I want to give you a lot.
Like if you see it on the map, it's just crazy. That's why
I'm looking at it right here.
We're looking at it, but it's all about
value. If you look at the satellite,
I've been in the heart of New York City, been offered shit and said no. Okay, in the most expensive streets in New York City, and I've said no because it didn't make sense. So it's all in the value. What can you do with this piece of property? Every property has a value based on what you can do with it and what you want to do with it and how's it benefiting you. That's what it's all about. So we have to sit down and figure out.
Currently, it's a public beach.
I don't know. The whole thing doesn't. It's too much for me to comprehend. That quickly to try to picture, because I have to picture myself in your shoes. A public beach. I don't know. I mean, this beach is public behind me. It's all about where's the value? Can somebody build on it? Is somebody just going to sit on it? Is it eminent domain type situation? What's the story here? And what can the place do for you? And how can that money by selling it help you and benefit you and your family? That's what matters.
We don't need the money. That's the thing. That's why. Do you just keep pushing and say, do you go for that $4.5 million insurance policy?
You always play a game as far as you can play it. Okay, if you think that there's some big number by you playing out and holding out, then you hold out, and you play, and you wait it out. But sooner or later, the game's over. So
they have to buy it.
So these two parties.
If you can, I don't understand when a $4.5 million comes into play. Somebody suing somebody over $4.5 million.
Oh yes, they sued everybody except us because we had nothing to do with this for nourishment project. We just owned the end of the island, and we were paying $7 a year in with our property tax.
Well,
and if you own the house next door,
you have a right.
Your property tax is $60,000.
Do you have a right to join the lawsuit? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't understand your position or the lawsuit part of it. Why are they even suing them? I don't understand. Who are they suing? Who's suing who?
They're suing so your son is looking at the map. They're suing the people that are suing are the ones right beneath us because their beach is being eroded. It's like if your house, the beach was being taken away.
I know. I had that at John. I wish I had it because I need more water than beach, but in John's Pass. But
exactly. So it's such just a funny story about it. Yeah. And I mean, we showed up and there was 20 attorneys and they offered us $1 million. We're like, nah, not interested. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play hard to get sometimes to get the most money. That's the way it is.
And then I would assume you have to 1031 exchange it because you went from a value of 600 to $1 million.
How much? What do you mean? 1031 is a taxable cause based on your gain. How much is your basis on this piece of island? $600 or $1,000?
600.
Just $600. No, $600.
All right, so yeah, $600, and then if you sell it for $1 million, you have to pay a couple of $100,000 in federal tax to capital gains.
Yeah, so you do the 1031.
It's part of the factor. This is why we got to sit down and talk about all the different situations and the domino effect of what happens once you do step A to step B. That's why I sit on the phone and consult with people on $1 million decisions like this. So I don't mean to be rude, but we ain't got much time tonight. Yeah. Go to benmal.com/consult with Ben. Give me a phone call for 15, 20 minutes and I'll figure it out. Or send me an email, and if you want to plan, schedule something, and I'll do some research on it. Okay, because I am interested in that area, so it kind of interests me anyway. I want to learn that area. And maybe I'll buy some hotels there. It look like the hotels are cheaper, but I don't know how much actually. Everything's seasonal with the beach and the hotels. So you got to make sure the season lasts long enough so you can handle the slow times. Because I think it's a lot colder over there than it does here in the wintertime.
I'm sure.
It's not a place where the snowbirds go, I don't think, that much like here earlier, All right. What else we got?
All right. Shout out Jordy. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Ben. I'm 31 from Australia. I have 13 single family worth 5 million Aussie. And 50% debt. What should I do to make it to the next level?
I mean, listen, you want to make it to the next level, you got to find a deal and you got to raise the cash. I mean, it's common sense. You're a smart guy. You're sitting on 31. Oh, he's 31. He's got 13 houses.
He's sitting on 5 million.
13 houses in Australia is worth a lot of money from what I heard about Australia. I mean, but if you only got 50% debt, hopefully you go back to the bank and pull some money out, but it's going to cost you more these days. And, listen, sitting around with a bunch of money tied up in real estate wanting to grow doesn't make sense. Okay. If you got a bunch of money in the bank and you got a bunch of money in real estate, then you're golden. Okay. That's where I always wanted to try to be. And I was going there until the interest rates fucking tripled on me. But the point is, listen, it's simple. Is there a deal to buy? Because I heard it's hard to do deals in Australia, but I don't know where you're at in Australia. There's a deal somewhere everywhere. Okay. So, is there a deal out there for you to buy? And if you ain't got the money in the bank to buy the next deal, then you're going to have to look to tapping. But maybe you don't do all 13 homes. Maybe I don't know. Do you have one loan on all 13 homes and cross-collateralize it and do a refinance? You can do that. And then every time, if you want to sell a house, you can have what they call a clause that lets you pay off piece by piece. I mean, it's up to you to go out there and see what do you have to work with. Maybe you don't want it. You got $5 million the house is worth. right?
$5 million.
And he's 50% LTV, so he's got $2.5 million worth of equity. All right, fine. Maybe you don't want to tap that much. Maybe you only need to tap $500,000 or $1 million. Go to a bank, try to make a deal, and see what you can do. But you got to find a deal, because you never want to borrow money and it's sitting around, you're paying interest on it if you ain't got somewhere to deploy it. But how do you level up? You level up by finding a bigger deal and see what's out there and available. All
right,
13 homes, a lot easier to run 13 unit building. It is to run 13 different homes.
All right, last super chat of the night. Shout out Luca. Hi, Ben. I recently got my real estate license, and now I am faced with the choice of joining an agency in Orlando or in Miami.
Ding, 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 ding,
Do
ding,
you
ding,
think
ding.
there's a meaningful difference, or anything I should consider when choosing between Orlando and Miami being a real estate agent?
I mean, really, listen, you got your license and you're ready to rock and roll. Congratulations. I love to hear people doing that, because let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, you go out and get yourself a real estate license. If you weren't college material and you didn't have 4 years to spend in college, on a career, a real estate license can be equivalent and a lot more, okay, if you apply it, properly. Okay, there's just no limit. I pay out millions of dollars in commissions a year to brokers. I've seen guys go from, young guys, and here we are 20 years later, they're multimillionaires because they made a lot of money and then they buy deals themselves. So anyway, the point is this: Orlando, Miami. All right, it's up to you. What kind of lifestyle you want? Orlando's good. Miami's good. They both got the money flowing. Okay, are you going to sell houses? I'm going to tell you one thing: if you got a real estate license and you want to try to sell houses, go where the money's at, where the commissions are bigger. Where the commission's bigger in the more expensive neighborhoods, okay? And then try to break in those areas, all right? And try to get into somebody's coattail and hang on and learn everything you can with people that are making money. Associate yourself with other people selling real estate, making money. Try to go to the top. Don't start at the bottom when you got a real estate license, okay? Because you're better off starting at the top, because, typical house is $1 million. I don't know about this new commission bullshit with that's going on with this lawsuit, and the sellers shouldn't pay the buyer's side commission and all this bullshit. I don't know. You better look into that, because but you can make a lot of money. Typical house in Miami or in Orlando, the cheap house can be $1 million in a decent house. So $1 million, you're going to make 30 grand. If it's 6% commission, you're going to make the buyer's side, the seller's side. That's 30 grand every time. You could sell the average $1 million house in Miami or in Philadelphia. But there is a lot of competition, so you got to really, really, put everything you got into it. But I'd, go to the most expensive places first and start with them. Sotheby's, all the big shots. Go find out who's selling the most expensive houses and get in with the money. That's what you got to do. Get around other people making it. But I like both cities. It's up to your lifestyle, because, Miami's got good, bad, and the ugly. Orlando's got not so much ugly, but it's got good and bad. But Orlando's growing. I can tell you that. Miami can only grow so much. I mean, it's one little area and it's surrounded by water mostly. But in Orlando, it's connected to land and lakes and all this. So it's growing out and growing out. There's a very expensive neighborhood near Orlando called Windermere. All the sports guys live there, the pro ball players, the big shots. And that's a good place to go. Dr. Phillips area, there's a lot of, nice homes there. You go and do your homework. But look up, make believe you're buying the most expensive homes in that area. And then look them up and find out who the listing agents are in the broker's offices and go visit them.
Nice. I like it. All right. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers. We're not there yet. Come on. You got to subscribe. You got to like the videos. And we also have the show in Tampa.
What else? Are you cutting us off, Rafael? That quick? It hasn't been even an hour. You fine?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. An hour and 15 minutes. All right, we're going to go. Maybe I'll get some dinner out of this place tonight. It's nice weather out. All right. Adios, amigos. Go to the show, benmail.com/live. Book a ticket. I mean, come on. Saturday night, you're going to hang out with me and my whole family in our hotel.
You get
it's
one-on-one.
going to be a good time. And I interact with every single person there. I'm not some big shot. Oh, we go up on stage like we're big shots and go through our course and, and all that bullshit. I hang out with everybody all night, okay? And the lobby in that place is a great place to hang out. It's a 100-foot ceiling. We got plants and waterfalls, and we got it's a great place, a great night, and I love it, okay? So, and it helps the hotel. So it's great. Come hang out with us. What else? Who else better you got to hang out with? Except you're not coming this time, aren't you? Because you got what do you got going on that night?
Prom. But I'm gonna come. Don't worry. I'm gonna come and say hi to everybody, and I might leave a little bit early. So
Maybe, maybe not.
We'll see.
Okay. All right, we'll see. But anyway, me, Ben, Vincent there to help you. Paulie's going to be there if you want to talk about retail. Brenda's going to be there if you want to talk about hotels. I mean, it's just all this information. And believe me, I like to interact with everybody. I guarantee we'll hang out. We'll have a good time. And, and it'll be a great night. We're going to do pictures. We're going to have great food. We're going to have the bar open. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're all going to be talking about making money.
And if you feel like he's really had a impact on your life, what better way to do it than to come meet him and learn more from him?
Come hang out.
That's like
anyway,
ultimate respect.
All right, that's it for tonight. Happy Sunday and adios, amigos.